Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to On Loose Lines. Hope you're all well. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. Got plenty to talk about for the weekend coming up. I might actually refresh that. We don't need that little bobbing face. And yeah, a little bit of fun to be had this week, hopefully. And yeah, hopefully everyone is well. That'll explain one thing. Couldn't have no audio coming through, but if you do not plug a cord in, it won't work. I knew I'd have to have something not right. So plenty to talk about tonight. Of course, got some great guests. We're going to have Ken Breckon join me very shortly on the phone from New Zealand. It's 8 o'clock over there. Of course, selling 4 weanlings in the upcoming NZB weanling sale, as well as other team from Woodlands. And while I've got you on that, there are 19 for the team at Woodlands on the market of the 22. So 19 of the 22 have hit their reserves and are on the market, and you've still got a full day, day and a half actually, still to get your bids on. So make sure you get in touch with the team there. Stacey White, Cameron Grant and Tony Grayland, their phone numbers are there for Australians. Take the 0 off and put a +64 in front of those. But get in touch with any of those guys for any more information onto those horses, and I'll bring the catalogue up in a minute when we get Ken coming up. Of course, the team at Breckon Farms are selling 4. You can get in touch with Nigel Fay. One of those has hit its reserve as well. So going to be a cool little sale. Plenty going on there with that coming up. Winter Woolies is up and about. Closes this Friday. No, it doesn't. Closes this Thursday. What's today? 18th. 3 days time. 19, 20. Yeah, Thursday, the 11th. No, that's when the sale's on. But I'm trying to work that out now. Should need a calendar in front of me. I should have done some bit more homework on the. Actually, for some reason, just thought it was the Friday, and the 21st. The 21st is a Thursday, so make sure you get involved with that. Of course, that is the day after, so don't forget that one. So going through there, and of course the race dates with is getting very, very close. I'll be there tomorrow night for the 2-year-old trotters and 3-year-old trotters, and I won't be there on the Friday, but definitely will be there for the Friday night with the Calcutta and also the sale, the upcoming sale. So yeah, plenty of stuff on the radar there. So make sure that you keep up to date. Go to nutrienstandardbred.com.au for all of their information. Go to nzbstandardbred.co.nz or any of the teams, Woodlands or Breckon Farms. Get in touch with any of those guys as well. Mickey Garfish, Brad Steele, Mark Lee. Hello to you, Mark. I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure. Where is that little horse drawn? Just go here. Lovely little horse whose name's left me. I was going to say Monkey Bones, but it's not Monkey Bones. It was Money the Munster, and he's drawn 2 for Mark and Stace. So good luck to those guys tomorrow. And please, hello to everyone. Don't see everyone's notifications. I don't know how it picks whose notifications there are that come up. So please, if you are watching and I don't mention your name, I'm sorry. But please just be aware that it's not personal. It's just the way for some reason it works. Right, some special mentions for this week. Jamie Egan trained another winner at Bendigo the other night. Watch this one. We'll go to here for a start. So Jamie's pretty regular on the show. He'll get involved. Alex Hurley, he will get involved with them at some point in time. That's the reason why they do it. Just cool little things that happen. But while I was looking at this, and we'll flick over very quickly to this page here. This was Bendigo winners the other night at on a Wednesday night. I reckon this is pretty cool. Jamie Egan and Nathan Jack combined with Paris Jamil. Tyrone Abella, Jody Quinlan, congratulations to those guys. Frankie Barak, Mickey Bellman, Madam Reactor, no Frankie for a long time. Donald Cross and Abby Sanderson combined with Jessica Story. Faye McEwen, Mickey Bellman got a double with Morning Dove. Ross Graham and James Herbertson, Text Goes Bang. Herbie was back with Poppy Popstar for Tara McNamara. And also Soho Amaryllis, one for Stephen Clark. Why that tickled me fancy a little bit. Ross Graham is probably the only professional trainer out of all of those on that occasion. So I think it's just a cool little night. Mary Kenny, hello to you, Mary. Good to see you watching. And as well as Nutrien Standardbred are watching there as well. But as I said, Mary had a nice little winner at Rangiora. on last Friday. So, yeah, we'll get onto that one in a minute. I will say, and it's a bit remiss of me too, I would like to pass my condolences on to David Branch after the passing of his mother and his family just recently. So David's been a great contributor to Campbell's comments and probably helped me get the New Zealand content out there. I think Graham, he's a terrific person behind the clubs and being able to get the race and the trot off the ground, two of the biggest slot races going around. He was one of the driving forces there. So my condolences to you, David, and your immediate family too on the passing. Your mother unfortunately passed away the other day. It looks like complications of her heart surgery. So yeah, my condolences to you, you guys, and yeah. Great man. So, yeah, I'd never met your mum, but was there the night that Romeo won at Cambridge. Must have been 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And that's a pretty amazing scene, Tony Hurley in the bike. So, yeah, that was pretty cool on that occasion. Hollywood Strip. We've got a few people there watching. Congratulations to team, great friends of mine, but being voted 2-year-old of the year. The guys from Mataranka. They'll be super proud of that, and so they should. Dennis, Joe, Em and Jess, and also Maddie. So Matt doesn't get much of a rap, but also Brad Hewitt and Mickey Boots. Looking at Mickey Boots. Oh yeah, you guys can see what I'm looking at. He's right there as well. So you'll be able to see him there as in that. But yeah, so terrific for those guys to have gotten that off the ground. So Ella Heads, hello to you, Ella. One of my first likes. It's pretty cool that you can do these sorts of things. Keep up to date. Probably looks a little bit tricky for you guys, although I haven't got it in. Tell you what, if you get 5 minutes, don't do it now because ratings will be down. But if you get 5 minutes, please go and have a listen to Michaela. Just take 5 minutes out, sit on the toilet and have a listen. Compelling. We've got to promote this sport. We've got to be positive. Don't be negative. Understand what she's trying to get across there and be aware that what we think may be boring or whatever is not what Joe Public thinks is boring. So I think we need to be able to embrace those things as well and get behind it. I get very sick of this game. It gets tiring. Listen to all the negativity and people complaining all the time. I find it very hard to do. So sometimes, and Michaela's in the same boat. I got to know Michaela in the Vincent Delaney Memorial, and hopefully myself and Marie will be over there. Tickets are nearly sorted, so we'll get our tickets sorted. Big trip this year, unfortunately, with Dubai being closed, so we've just got to try and work out that. Dougie Howlett, hello to you, Dougie. He's from New Zealand as well. I'm going to get hold of Kenny Breckon in 2 secs. I just want to give a big mention. There was plenty of cool winners actually on Saturday night at Melton. Plenty of cool winners everywhere. And if you've got one and I haven't mentioned it, please give me a yell. But the winner of our race, Stockman Pete for David Phillips. Mark Phillips and his family made the 4.5-hour trip to Melton the other night, and he was terrific, Stockman Pete, and got the chockies, of course, being by used to me, one of Pratt Driscoll's size. So, yeah, congratulations to Mark and his family, and great to see them make the long trip there. John Justice won the last race. We'll do it this way. Emma Stewart, the Art of Success, that was pretty super, actually. That was there. Samantha Gangle and Liam Older, he was another one. So Liam's actually driving up a bit of a storm here, the young bloke. He's had 195 winners this season, though. He's having a pretty cool season. Worst part is Matty Leopard. Hello to you, Matty. He had a winner last week. Matt Leopard did at Gloucester Park. The only problem with this website is he's had 23 winners from 2,200 starts, but I reckon his last month's been pretty awesome, actually. So well done, Liam. Keep up the great work as well. P-Run kicked the dust sheet off twice, I believe. Fixed it once, lost it the second time. Love Me Too, Ken Breckon. We'll touch on that horse in a second. Kiang Wasabi, Sweet Ideal. One was an interesting that went right in the sprint lane and kept the race. That's okay. And then Good to Be Loxley for Adam Kelly as well. So pretty cool winners through the week. So yeah, so the other one I wanted to do was also congratulations to James Locke taking out the Tab Kevin Newman Award. This is in New South Wales, basically for the drive of the night. I'll catch up with James. He's driving in the last heat, so I'll make sure I catch up with James tomorrow night and just find out about that. But it was voted on for the year for the public. So and it was on his drive. I think it was at Leeton. Yeah, Leeton on July 7th on Meg's Monaro. So little things we don't see. Go to yeah, we'll go to Harness Racing New South Wales, actually, to their Facebook page, and you should be able to find all those. Pete Gianni, hello to you, Pete. Craig Wharton as well, so hello to you guys. But yeah, they had all their awards up. Some really nice pictures going up there as well. Just quickly get it up. Harness Racing NSW, and interviews is just starting to go up too by the looks, but there's some video behind the scenes. But yeah, all the award winners are there. So yeah, pretty cool day. There was a picture, I'm sure. There's Hollywood Strip, of course, but must be on one of the other sites. Might be on Clubman Angles. I don't know where I saw that, but anyway, well done to Jamesy. And I think that's a pretty cool little stat. Righto, we have got plenty to get through. We've got 3 guests on the show, as I said. Mark Barton, Ken Breckon, and Zane Turner. Zane will be on after 7. He's fine. He's happy to wait till then. So we'll try and get hold of Ken. Ken can be funny from time to time to get hold of. Not funny, he just doesn't answer his phone. So hopefully the great man will answer his phone. And it's ringing the right way too. Got a new phone. Does make the world a difference. So hopefully the great man answers.
Good evening, Paul Campbell.
Kenny Breckon. I was always a little bit nervous. I was like, geez, I hope he answers. And he did. So welcome, my friend. Welcome to On Loose Lines.
Pleasure, Paul.
We've got plenty to cover off on tonight, mate, with a lot going on. But you've actually got 4 weanlings. One thing we want to make sure we get out for a start, 4 weanlings on the Gavel House sale that's live at the minute. Closes 6 o'clock New Zealand time on Wednesday, so 4 o'clock Australian time. So any of the Australian people interested, then the countdown clock starts different to Nutrien's. It counts down on each individual horse and then resets afterwards. That's correct how it works, isn't it? I think.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
And you've got 4 weanlings in there. We want to make sure people are aware. They're 4 legit sale. You've got one that's hit its reserve, and it's actually had an increased bid since I had a look just before as well, which is good.
Yeah, look, it's new for us. It's not something that Breckon Farms has been involved in before, so it's exciting, and it's come about because we had so many fillies, last season. So we just thought, well, we'll just try something a bit different. And I know it's been very successful, Lynn's, and both and Alabar, of course, and we've done particularly well ourselves buying horses, for sale. And probably none more so than Party On.
Party On was a graduate as well.
Yeah, Party On, yeah, was a graduate. So we bought that, I think by memory for about 40,000. So she went on and won 600 odd K. So, and obviously won Group 1s both sides of the ditch. So, there are great horses to be bought on from the winning sale.
Oh yeah, of course there are, and they rattle off. His name just left me. Freeze Frame and horses like that were able to win Group 1s last year. But I know it wasn't NZB at the time, but when PGG writes and had it, copy that, and my hard copy, just to name a couple of absolute jets. And I know they don't like us going back over it, but effectively they are weanling graduates that have just gone on to huge things.
Well, I mean, it's always been a way for the studs. With their new stallions to get them out there as young horses, and it's obviously a cheaper way for them to get started. So it's been very successful, and I'm glad it's continuing.
No, absolutely. If anyone wants to know any more about your 4 weanlings, I've got Nigel's numbers above you. If you're in Australia, use the +64 phone number there, and you can even email Nigel. That's probably the best way to do it all, Ken.
Yeah, it is. Yep, and when you look at the breeding of ours, they're very, very well bred. I mean, Lazarus, Western Willow, that goes, the Grand Dam's One Dream. I think she won again about 600,000 or 700,000 on the track. I love some bred by, I better get it right, Jill Smolenski and Dennis Smolenski. They had a wonderful, time with that particular mare. So. No, there's some good families there.
Yeah.
And then one goes back to Richard Nelligan, of course, who left, great things, Rock and Roll Hanover would be the best one known in part of the world. So, there's some pretty rich breeding there.
Oh, there is. And the easiest way to do it, I think, if anyone's watching me here, is basically when you go, it doesn't matter if you go NZB Standardbred, or if you go to, I'll get it wrong, it's standardbred.gavelhouse actually is the other way to get it. That's correct, isn't it? It goes backwards, I think, doesn't it? Oh, I've got it in front of me. It is. No, I've got it in front of me, Ken. It's standardbred.gavelhouse.com is the other way to get into it. Then so we've got here the Pebble Beach Alta Flamenco, which I think is the one you were just talking about then. She's a rock and roll dance mare, and it's got the comments there, but if you go down that little bit further, then it'll show you that whole family as well. So down there to Alta Cristiano. So very easy.
You're on the wrong horse here, but you keep promoting it. You keep going.
It's one of yours. Don't say that to me.
I know, but you're promoting the wrong one. I'm talking about the one.
Which was the other one?
Anyway, you're having a drink. Look, I tell all the listeners, the best way to do this, pour yourself a good red, probably two, and then get right in amongst it, as I did the other night. I think back from the trots the other night, I'd had a good time, and then, no, I'm not going to bed. I'm going to have a crack at this weaning sale. So the next morning I had to look at the damage. I'd started a few off and I can tell you.
I did actually have a look at a couple of horses that had a nice price tag to them, and I did see one Breckon Farms was bidding, so at least you've owned up to it.
Yeah, I know, I have. I know. Always got to shake the tree.
It's not your first and last time. We've got Elizabeth McLean watching, and I do know a few times. I know one time you were sitting at a bar with a person not far from you bidding on the same horse, weren't you?
Yes.
Trying to be incognito at the time, I think is what.
Yes, I think so. Yes, I think so.
But that's a fun.
I think that Stonewall stud might have knocked me off that night. I had beers on auto bid. I just couldn't get near it.
He just kept going. Yeah, I do know that indeed, mate. It's been a pretty good week. Well, there is one thing I really want to touch on with you at the end of it, and it's about getting involved. But one, your love of the industry is rock solid. You want this game to keep growing and keep improving and keep getting better all the time. And I think that shows with a lot of the stuff that you do. But that'd be fair to say, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That is the reason really behind us building the new stable down at the farm. We see there's a future in the industry, and we invest not just for ourselves, but for the wider harness industry. I think it's very important that we've got to keep growing it, and so I've got a lot of confidence in it, and albeit it's been tough. We've gone through. The COVID days, we've gone through everything, like other industries have, but we just got to keep boxing on and keep trying to lift the bar.
Yep, and keep doing things a little bit differently.
Exactly.
And professionally as well. Are you happy, Ken? You're on a few boards and panels, if you like, and that's why I couldn't get you last week, because you actually were presenting to the guys down south. Are you happy with the direction that it's going in New Zealand at the minute?
Well, it's probably one of the reasons that I did jump on the racing committee, and there's going to be some huge changes here in New Zealand for the better. Some people may not like it, but I mean, the ultimate goal, we will get this industry going in the right direction, and we need change, and we need to get cracking.
Yep.
We've got lots of different challenges coming up over here in New Zealand. Like sports betting's growing, online casinos. There's all sorts of things happening. So we've got to keep changing harness racing, and the thoroughbreds the same. If we want our share of the betting turnover, then we've got to have the right product.
Yeah, I think that's pretty true. I think we look here in Victoria and everyone gets a bit frustrated with how things are going from time to time, and I understand why. I'm invested in the game, but it wasn't that long ago New Zealand were going terrible. That'd be a fair way to put it, I reckon, Ken.
Yes.
In no disrespect. I think when I forgot the guy's name, was CEO at the time, they had to announce $500 stake reduction off every race, and he was like the worst person in the world. Well, then within 6 months, 12 months, Entain came along. So things can flip and change, but we just can't take things for granted. We can't take things for granted, though, as an industry, can we?
No, we can't, and I think we've done that for a long time, and, I think it'd be fair to say that a lot of participants have gone for like the TAB for handouts, but along the line's got to be accountable, and I think as an industry, we've got to do that, and we've got to put our best foot forward now, and as I say, welcome change and see it for the better.
No, absolutely. Darren Ray's put a post up there. Amazing farm. He was at your farm today. Actually, I know that for sure. He attended the farm. And I think he was given a very nice tour around by Nige and the team. So Darren's pretty happy about that, actually, Kenny.
Yeah, well, that's good on Darren. I hope he caught the mouse that was in the house. The Karen was jumping around in the mouse in the house. So anyway, so I hope Darren helped to catch that.
Oh, I hope he's not scared. It'd be funny if he's scared of mice, actually. He could be. Don't worry about that. So, yeah. The great man from Woodlands, Cameron Grant, he's sucking up by the sounds here. Ken Breckon, one of the best golfers on the North Island. Great to have him on the award-winning show.
I tell you what. I love him when he plays golf. He hits the ball so long and so far. He spends most of his day looking for my balls, and hazards, bush. When you're a +4 golfer, not me. I'm 104. He's a fine man and a fine golfer.
He is indeed. Rightio. For Breckon Farms, we will try and get back onto some. Well, who cares? This is on loose lines. It could end up anywhere. I notice Claire Weston's she's trying to rehome a chestnut thoroughbred mare. I reckon you're in all sorts of trouble there, Claire. But anyway, good luck with that. Been a pretty big week for you. 2 winners at Gloucester Park, first and second last race the other day. So some nice results there right across the board. But one I wanted to touch on, Ken, was Love Me Too. Elizabeth McLean is actually watching, and the job they'd been able to do to get this horse back winning races and looking like he's going to keep improving anyway. Hopefully he shows the real form that we saw as a 2 and 3 year old, but that must have been very satisfying for the farm to see him back winning consistently now.
Yeah, I know the horse has had a lot of leg injuries, so he did show a lot of promise. He won one of the Aussie derbies, and he looked the real deal, but unfortunately, did have a lot of leg injuries, and looks like they might have sorted them out. So he's a very, very good horse, if he's right. So. And he's got a sister over here, which I think, has got a lot of ability as well. Tactica, which won the other week, is shown a lot. But whether or not she's just come to the end of it now, needs a bit of a spell. But it's a fantastic family, and a family, of course, that we've had huge success back in the day with, of course, I Can Do's It.
But it must be satisfying, Ken, the run you're having at the minute, and it's fair to say, I'm paid to promote your product, so that's easy. I can say that's easy, but you have had probably a bit of a quieter run last year. This year, without, you've had a couple of good results, but overall, this year they're winning from everywhere and winning everywhere, which must be very satisfying for yourself and Karen. Yeah,
look, we did have a bit of a gap, but it's not that long ago that we were winning across in Queensland. Won the derby last year, of course, with Ribera. So that's 2 derbies that we won, consecutive derbies we won in Queensland with the year before with Major Hot. So, where we had a little bit of a lull, it sort of followed up in the last few months. It's been quite staggering, the results. In fact, we won 2 derbies, I think it was a week apart. 2 Group 1s a week apart. One with High Power from the very good Highgate family. And, of course, the other one, which is probably the most exciting, is the Fergusons with Apollo 11. And, what's fantastic about that, both Joe and Dylan, very young, really, having a go and spending very good money at the sales. And what was encouraging, they sort of listened to a number of people that said, you're going to have to go and spend some money to buy some good horses and attract new owners. It's far easier selling, I think, better bred horses than it is poorer. And they listened. And what's astonishing, they've brought so many new people into the industry, and it's what we what we want insofar as syndicating is concerned. So they brought people in of all ages, some with 1%, some with 5%, 10%. The other night, when the horse Apollo 11 won the Group 1, they couldn't get them into the winners' bar, which was just fabulous to see them all on the course.
I saw Jamie trying to walk his way through, and he looked a bit frustrated. I think he's trying to work out how he could get them in there, but it wasn't.
Well, I think he was probably more frustrated running out of barman. I think the president himself had to pour a couple of drinks off. Jamie might have been on the bar.
Wouldn't have heard him either.
Man of many talents.
We've got the great man Maurice McDermott on, the best lawnmower in the Christchurch airport area. Don't worry about that, young Maurice. He does an awesome job. You've skipped about 4 stages. Ken, this is what I did want to touch base with you with. Well, the weanling sales is most important for you guys right at the minute. They do close on Wednesday at 6 o'clock New Zealand time, 4 o'clock Australian time, and then keep an eye on them after that. And Darren Ray's been to the farm, the horses that you've been able to grow out and things along those lines. But I would imagine something like Dylan and Joe, like you said, you had a Group 1 winner the week before. It was, your great mate and worker, Nigel Fay's first Group 1 winner. But there must have been something just a little bit special seeing, like, Joe was raucous and had every right to be. I mean, it would have just been a big pressure release, if you like, for her and for Dylan after that race. It must have been very satisfying for yourself for what you did and what you just said there after that horse actually won.
Yeah, look, it was fantastic, and I just know how hard they worked. One, getting the money together, I mean, they're young people, so just getting the money together in the first instance was a huge achievement. And I think the big one, getting the monkey off the back per se, is the horse winning and sort of taking the pressure off them, because it's, particularly when you've got people that are racing horses. And there were a number. It was their first horse that they've owned, and to win a Group 1 is just fabulous, And I don't think some of those people, which was quite funny, I think a lot of them, it's like a lot of people own their first horse and have luck like that. I think it's easy, but I feel they said we'll be in again next year, and I'm thinking, shit, it's not that easy. But anyway, but I think for them, the pressure, it removed the pressure, and look, they deserved this horse winning, and I have no doubt it'll go on Apollo 11 and win more. Very good that they've taken the filly now, which was their other purchase. Ali Diamond, they've taken her down to Christchurch. She's running down south, so she's running at Addington in the $50,000 Group 3 this Friday night. So hasn't drawn that well, but anyway. Fingers crossed that she'll do the job for them also.
With your, you got your Breckon hat on, but with your racing, getting on these panels and trying to, steer our industry in the right direction, Ken, these are the sorts of results the industry needs, though, isn't it? Young people getting involved, getting new people into the sport. Like Dylan's been around, he's worked for quite a few stables, but getting around and getting these horses to win. Like, don't worry, it won a Group 1, but it won first up as well. And the 2 horses in question presented beautifully. Their third horse was not quite right on the day and dropped out. But the job that these 2 guys are doing with these 2 horses, and then the promotion behind the scenes, is just outstanding. And that's what we need this industry to do, pick our socks up and keep having a crack.
Yeah, and I think, again, the industry's got to tell that story. It's not the negative stuff. This is positive stuff. And here's a young couple with a young child that have put their, they're giving their all to create this, and it just shows, I think, to some of the younger trainers that this can be done, and hopefully it will encourage more of the young people to get involved in it. It's just so important going forward. I mean, they're the next generation, for our industry, and they've got to be buying horses, and they've got to have the confidence that, they can get the results such as the Fergusons.
Yep.
And maybe it's something that, the industry, we've got to showcase this and, just give these young kids, the opportunity to have a go.
I interviewed Dylan after that horse won its first race. I haven't caught up with them afterwards. I actually effectively wanted to talk to you beforehand, but they do a great job. They're always there prepared to talk to, which I think is very, very important about it. You kept a share in both horses, Ken. Did they approach you prior to the sale and say, look, this is what we want to do? If we get those, are you interested in coming in? Or was it something that they struck up afterwards? Did they do the groundwork prior to buying the horse?
No, they did the groundwork, but we, to be fair, we did speak to them because I think it's important that, for us as commercial breeders, that firstly we back our breed, but where we see the opportunity for as I say, young people to go ahead, it's an easy decision for us, for Karen and I to say, righto, they need to get our backing.
Yep.
And there were a number of people, to be fair, in the industry that have, got a few bob that did help them with either horse. So it was encouraging. very encouraging.
And those number of people, and I'm not going to single them all out, there's quite a few people there, but a lot of them are mates of yours, and I encourage anyone to go to New Zealand racing on good nights, and generally once they know you, you get a good handshake and offered a drink and some great accommodation and hospitality, full stop. It is a great camaraderie, but you guys, there's quite a few of you pushing to keep this industry going in the right direction by taking micro shares. I don't know, how big a share yourself, and I don't want to know, to be honest, but whether it's a substantial share or a small share, but helping these people along. I think when people see Breckon Farms Syndicate as one of the owners, people are going to go, right, so that's good for the industry, if that makes sense. Like these young people having a go, so it can only help them because you guys are affiliated with that stable.
Yeah, exactly, and look, it's, there's people like Phil Kennard and Glennis Kiddo. I'll take my hat off to them. They, they've gone into. No, I think it was actually Glennis. I don't think Phil knew that she'd bought a share in the filly. So the filly, a lot of women went into that. So she obviously took the housekeeping and decided to spend it wisely and buying a horse. Don't know if it pleased him, but it would be fair to say people like them they've invested again in young trainers down the South Island like Regan Todd, and helped them with a business case, how to go about it, how to improve his training. A big thing in the industry which lacks, but communicating with your owners. So that's what he's sort of done. He's helped groom Regan down there and obviously mentor him down there. And, you're seeing the results now with the likes of Marketplace. Interesting, I was watching him from a distance last year at the sales, and he was buying up horses left, right and centre. What was amazing was how quickly he syndicated those horses because he was getting the results on the track.
Yep.
But, there's been a lot of work that Phil's sort of put into him, to make him the young trainer that he is. And he's created him as a very good, I would say, just not trainer, now young businessman.
Yep.
He's also helped the likes of Brendan Hill. Probably Hayden Cullen's another one. So,
David
he realises...
Stacey White as well.
David and Stacey White. So, some of these guys that are heavily invested in the game may look at it and think, Phil Kennard's having a lot of luck, him and Glennis, with their horses. But in actual fact, yes, they are. But behind the scenes, they're doing a lot for the industry. And I think it's very important, and it should be known, by everyone out there. In a funny way, they are investing in the industry right across the board. And, Karen and I are doing the same. If we can help young people, we will. It's just so important going forward for the industry to succeed and to grow.
It is, and look, the reason I want John here. Well, before I say onto that, Phil Kennard, when you go to parades, I saw he was at the Weanling Parade. He would have done the same thing. He doesn't just go there, picks at the catalogue, says which horse is the best. He actually goes there, looks at each of the horses, discusses them with each individual trainer. He does a lot of groundwork behind there. This success that he's having with so many different trainers is not by mistake. He knows what he's doing, and he's just doing a magic job with it. That's fair to say, I think, isn't it, Ken? Yeah,
and he's doing. To be fair, I've forgotten. He's doing the same up north now with young Matty White. He's another one. That he's doing it with. So you're seeing again Matty White going to the sales now, where he probably would have been, probably stood back, may have bought just one cheapie. He's now, investing quite heavily, and again is syndicating them because of the results he's getting on the track. So it's fantastic that you're seeing these young guys starting to go forward now. It's very important.
And doing it the right way, not going to the right.
Yeah,
not going
Nathan
to
Purdon. Nathan Purdon's another one. He's another one that's Philip's been investing in too. So no, it is good.
But Nathan's one of those people. He's a great one. And probably Bob Butt as well. These are great ones because they've got a name in the industry. So people probably think they can just do what they like within reason and they'll be able to get owners. No, and I know Bob's changed his way as well. But like Nathan Purdon, people would probably think, oh well, he doesn't have to do anything. The owners will just come to him. Whereas no, he knows he has to do it, and he's working behind the scenes and doing an awesome job at it.
Yeah, Yeah, and they say quite, yeah, exactly. And Bob Butt, you mentioned Bob Butt. I mean, you go on to quite a few of these. If you look behind it, a lot of these young kids, or young men or women, are definitely starting to go forward at a rate of knots.
Yep. And it's
You
only good.
know,
It gets back to what we were saying at the start, Ken, where we want to improve our game. We got these young people coming through, and they want to improve the game because they want to stay in it for a long time, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and they've got to see the biggest thing they've got to see, Paul, is that they've got to see that there's actually a future in the business.
Yep.
You know, something that's just not for a couple of years. Of, as I say, if people are going to invest. You know, as I've invested, I'm not looking, out a couple of years. I mean, I'm crystal balling, 10 years out, and I've got both my sons, as you know, that have fallen in love with the industry. The eldest one, George, Andrew's jumped on as well. They're starting to syndicate horses. They're bringing in new people, and again, showing that it can be done.
Nah.
It can be done. You just got to be brave and be prepared to have a go, and just be businesslike and do these things to the best of your ability. But there's people out there, as I say, that will help if you ask.
Yeah, well, I think that's the best part. Be brave, but don't be silly. Don't go to the sales. Spend 150,000 and then come to you guys and say, mate, I need this horse syndicated, and you're like, well, we wouldn't have bought it. So you've got to be smart, do your homework, and listen.
And it's a good thing you've said, because what I say to these, say to the likes of the Fergusons, and I did say this to them. I said you should be planning from the moment a sale finishes. You should be then planning 12 months ahead. You should have these horses syndicated. You should have the people that you are intending to bring into these syndicators already there. And it's just the way with your business, you've got to plan it.
Yep.
And I would say anyone listening, if you're looking to buy horses next year, start working out in your own mind what you want to spend at the sales, and then go looking for your clients.
Yep. Absolutely, and I think that's the important part, and that's why you and we spoke the other day, and we want to get this message out there. I am going to go down south in maybe a month, and I might even try and catch up with Phil and but a few of these other people, and just try and stimulate people's minds. But I want the Aussie guys to start thinking the same way as well, and be prepared. Don't just say, oh, it's February, sales are around the corner. Be prepared. Think about it now. Think what you want for your stable. Think which direction you want your stable to go to too. That's the other part, I think, is don't say I'm going to get trotters because everyone's getting trotters. If you've never trained a trotter, don't go to sales and buy one. That'd be suicide. So, be aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think, what people wouldn't be aware of, I mean, I just met with Nigel last week. Already we're going through the horses that, that will be yearlings next year, which ones we're retaining, which ones we're selling. So already, we are ready to go now. We know which ones are going to go through the ring. So we find a lot of the trainers, or the older trainers, come to us, throughout the season. They'll pop in, and they will ask Nigel, what are we selling? What are we expecting from Breckon, from the Breckon's draft next year? So they're seeing the horses at a very young age, and therefore being able to watch in the next 6 to 8 months their progress.
Yep.
And I think it's very important. So they see the horse from a very young age. They can look at the conformation from a very young age, and coming down regularly, if you're in the area, that you can see, how those horses are maturing over the 6 to 8 months, prior to the sales. And we make ourselves available for that. So anyone that is visiting from Australia, we make the farm available and our progeny available for them to look at any time, through their build up to the sales.
Yep, and I know, as I said, I know Darren Ray was there. I think Jess Howe has been there a little bit earlier on this year as well. They're two people that I know that have gone there, but I know there's plenty of other people. You don't have to do it through me.
Yeah,
you can do it through anyone.
The Lees have been there recently. Right. Been a number of people there, yeah, for sure.
You're sitting getting sunburned on a beach when the Lees were there. That's unbelievable form. But anyway, we won't worry about that one. Just want to quickly run through these owners of Apollo 11, just for people to know. Mrs. G.E. Ferguson, Breckon Farms, Breckon Racing Syndicate, Five Wise Men Syndicate, Kay Robinson, B. Armstrong, Cook and Buy, I'll get that one wrong, Richard Cole, who's another person that's going along for the ride, but I think he's enjoying it too and doing an awesome job there. Of course, with
well, again, another gentleman, Richard Cole. I've raced horses with Richard, but again, another one very, very keen to help young ones get established.
Yep, keep them going. Often racing, they're doing a good job too. They've got their own horses, but they've got shares in other horses as well, trying to grow the game. Teddy Turbo Syndicate, Ferguson Racing, Super 6 Syndicate, S. Taylor, CHG McKay, R. Patterson, Forbes, Stevenson's, Grills, and B. Ryan. And that's a great list of owners, I think, that are in that horse.
Yeah, are. So the Grills, famous over here.
Jockey Racing Stable.
Great jockey.
Oh.
Gary Grills.
Oh, I didn't pick that up, actually.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah.
You got it all sorted, mate. You know what you're doing. I think it's awesome.
Well, I think those Fergusons are very clever. I said they've befriended a very successful jockey, but he does have a plane. So I think they've had a few little trips up and down the coast, up and down New Zealand. Probably flown from course to course with a bit of luck. He won that Group 1. Perhaps Dylan will get a free ride as the trainer down to Addington when he performs. Gary will just fly him down.
Don't worry about this either, Ken.
His private jet.
I'm about to be shameless too, because Tom Patterson's actually tuned in. So whenever I go to New Zealand down south, I say at Christchurch, I'll say at Hotel Montreal or the hotel, the Commodore Hotel. Don't you worry about that.
You've hit the jackpot. If you've hit the, I was just going to say, if you're staying in Montreal, you've hit the jackpot.
I slept in. True story. I slept in, missed my plane. It's just too nice, the beds. I tell you, they're no good. They're no good for a bloke. Got to get up early.
Well, look, I don't mind telling the story, but I had a 3 o'clock down at Christchurch last week, and I tell you what, I slept in. I slept in at 10 o'clock. I near missed my meeting the next day. Very good beds at Tom supplies. Very good beds down there. So anyone listening, the Montreal.
Yep.
Never slept in beds like it.
No, I agree with that. And the Commodore is the drop kick from the airport, and it's 10, 15 minutes to Addington Raceway. So if you're only doing a hit and run to Christchurch, that's the best place to stay because you can get the early flight out. And even if you're sleeping, you still should be able to make it to there. But anyway, that's okay. Just quickly, Ken, I wanted to congratulate.
Is Tom paying you for this?
He gives me free accommodation. You want to hit him up.
I'll go one further. I'll tell you what, great restaurant too.
Oh,
great restaurant.
The desserts. They had this pear flange. Oh, it was just to die for. Serious. It'll be fine. So, yeah, Tom, don't worry. I'm coming back. He probably thinks he got rid of me. He hasn't seen me for a while, but no, I'll be coming back. Don't you worry about that. Just very, very quickly.
Good stuff.
Higher Power winning a Group 1, well deserved. Been playing a lot of second fiddle to the reigning 3-year-old of the year, and meant to be, of course, both bred by you guys. We got a thanks from Tom too, so that's all good. He gave a beers, so that's for you, not for me. But it must have been very satisfying and great that it was actually Nigel Fahey's first Group 1 winner, Ken.
Yeah, he's been waiting on the sidelines for a while, Nigel. So he's hoping to take a bit more money off me next Friday at Addington in the final of the the Hydroflow final down there. The what's it race? Come on, Ken.
Haven't you got
the rural final?
Is that on this week?
Frank. Yep.
I'll get it for you. Don't you?
The big race down there.
Down there, what? Down south.
Well, anyway, they haven't given them a good draw. Yeah, down south Addington, drawn 14. Franco Sinatra, but he's off 30 metres to be fair, but he's a show, so. I'm sponsoring, I don't even know the name of the race. I know it's got wonderful.
Country Championships. That was one of the best races a few years ago, that race. I can't think of the young.
So it's a very, very good field. So Nigel's got one in there, but it'd be good to see him win another big race. But I know he is delighted with high power. And Jackie, his partner's got one. Well, she's got a share. There we go. She's got a share in Alley Diamond. Again, in the filly syndicate with Joe and Dylan. So they got a double reason to go down to Addington this Friday night.
So they'll be able to enjoy themselves there. Dylan's taking the drive, drawn 6 on that occasion. So that'll be a cool little race for the Aussies to tune in on 5 o'clock, 5:05 on Friday. I think that's all my notes. Right, so don't forget, though, the weanling sale, as I said, go to NZB Standardbred That's the easiest way. Go to nzbstandardbred.co.nz. If you click on the sale, it will actually take you to the Gavel House sale. 4 horses there for the team from Breckon Farms. You'll be able to see those as lot number 2. Should have been able to do this. I should have had this written down, Ken. Would have been a lot easier. Lot 2, 20, 26 and 34. It's very easy to see because you're in the middle of that beautiful yards that you have. So,
so that's what I'd say. I'd say either 4 beers, 4 red wines, and away you go. Thumbs up and just push the button. Happy days.
Here I am saying about telling people to make sure they do their homework and everything else like that. And then at the end of the day, you're just like, just get drunk and hit the buttons and it'll work beautifully. Is that what you're saying?
No. No, it won't let you down. 4 wonderful weanlings. There we go.
Very good. No worries, mate.
And there's no bias there.
No, thank you very much. As I said, I do get paid to promote your product. It's an easy product to promote and I do enjoy it. But I actually more love stories like Dylan and Joe's and these sorts of other, bet and wins. There's plenty of them out there, marketplace. All these horses that young people have had a crack at and they're having the rides of their lives, and we want to continue to do it, and we just want them to do it in the right way and understand what they're actually doing, so they stay in our industry for a long time and bring more people to it. That's, at the end of the day, what we want.
Well, and to be quite honest, if you look at it, and if you go back 2-3 years ago, and all due respect to the great trainers, your Mark Perns of this world and Barry, Dalgidis, all the trainers that dominated it. And I'm taking nothing away from them because they still are winning, their share and more of the Group 1s. But, you would never have seen young trainers popping up like they are today, which, and you've mentioned a number of them tonight, as I have, and it's just so important that they can see that they can do it. I think that's a great thing. Young trainers are capable of winning these Group 1 races, and it's fantastic, and I think it bodes well for the industry.
I get into trouble, Ken, because I get Cloda's name wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Cloda, but the lovely...
No, you got it right.
It is Cloda, is it? Thank you.
Yeah. Ticking the box.
Her comment here, Ken for Prime Minister, get involved. we could start up a campaign. You're going to be the next Prime Minister of New Zealand, mate.
They have to be going pretty much. Yeah, no, there we go. That Cloda, I'll see that Cloda down south, no doubt.
No, you will indeed. Mate, thank you. Really appreciate the chat.
Okay.
Good
Thanks,
luck with
Paul.
good luck with the weanlings, but well done for everything, Breckon Farms. And thank you very much for your support of Campbell's comments on my channel as well, mate. Really appreciate it.
Okay. And we love you being part of Breckon Farms. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Ken.
See you.
We have Ken Breckon there from Breckon Farms. As I said, plenty to discuss on. We have a bit of fun. I will say he can be very serious, as a lot of these guys can be, but also a lot of fun. And, make the trip. I know Darren Ray's over there at the minute. He's been waxing on with me a little bit over there. He's been playing putt-putt golf, and I think he went on a scooter ride or something today too that didn't go down that well. But please, get over there and enjoy it, and you will be able to see it. Let's make Southern Hemispherical. Let's make it Australia and New Zealand. Let's combine it. Brad Steele's on there watching. Let's try and start making things change and get it right up there. So I think it's the only thing we can do for this industry to keep it growing and keep it going in the right direction. Change of hats. We'll not be changing the shirt, so any of the ladies out there, good luck. That won't be happening, but we will try. Hopefully Bardo answers. He can always be a bit hit and miss from time to time. There he is there. So hopefully we can get hold of Bardo, and because we've got plenty more to touch on.
Hello,
mate. How are you?
I'm going well. How are you, mate?
Good. I apologise, just going a little bit over, but that tends to be what happens when I get on these shows. But Ken talks a lot of sense, and I think one thing, Bardo, before we get on to everything else that you've got going on at the minute, that forward planning is so important, and I think it's the direction people need to probably have a look at, and be aware of it, thinking 6 months out before you go to the sales, which is not far off now, and doing your homework and getting the good results as the Fergusons are getting.
Oh, look, I think, mate, the any prior planning, and it's where do you want to be probably with 3-year-olds? Like, what's your target? What do you actually want to get out of the sport? Yep. Particularly those people that are, and we're seeing that starting to improve even more. The amount of people buying potential broodmares down the track, like the breeding base, it's so important that you stay current with your mares, and that's the opportunities of those great mare families that prove themselves time after time. You've got to be ready to pounce on those too, don't you?
Well, that's pretty relevant what you just said then, because that's one thing Ken and Breckon Farms do. They trade a lot of their mares over, and it's a very important part of our business. I think some people say it's wrong that you sell your horses, but I think other times it's good that other people get a chance. We quite regularly talk about the Baggy Green and the result that horse has been able to give, the Markhams in New South Wales, and horses like that have just been terrific stories all the way through.
Look, a number of our breeder clients do have, they get to an age where they then turn those mares over. They've generally kept daughters in their program, so they're maintaining the relevance of the genetics themselves. But I think it's an opportunity for someone else, and the industry wants these good families. They need to keep repeating themselves, because I know with what we breed that the one or two lines seem to be the ones where all the good ones come from, out of the same families time after time.
Yeah, and I saw Craig Judd was on there before, and Wicked Knights was one of those other horses. Apologies for that ping, but that was another horse. But the team have got back their own horse as well, so I think those parts are that again is very important for people to be aware of it. The job that it's given to Brooke Hammond in Tassie with her seafood. I just had to get her picture up. Sorry about it, but
you're right.
Giving her a great thrill, and that's what the industry's about.
Oh, and look, she's topped the sales in Tassie twice with that mare. So, and I know that that Benster, they've actually bought back into that family again too. So
that's what I mean.
They've actually they've seen that she was current when they sold her, and what's gone on since is great. I think it's an opportunity, and it's great for Tasmanian racing to see those sort of mares get down there and see their progeny do a job.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Barto, big couple of weeks coming up. Firstly, let's get with Winter Woolies. Entries are still open. I got myself in a bit of a tongue tie and twist, but they closed Thursday. I had the right date. I just couldn't work out what day it was. So Thursday they will close. So we will definitely do something tomorrow, yourself and I, either at the racetrack, to make sure people jog their memory. But it seems to be one of those things people leave to the last minute. And the last minute,
look, we're getting them. They're flowing in, and if you're a vendor that's going to put them in, make sure they're up before the weekend, because there's another sale next week, and it's good to know what's on the market if you've got a budget to spend, and know what we're going to put in our catalogue before you go to the market, I suppose. So it's good for our guys to get their entries in over the next couple of days. And I've had a couple of potential buyers have asked that question: what's in your catalogue, before we start looking around for next season.
Yep, and part of that, basically the easiest way to do it is go to nutrienstandardbred.com.au and then click on the upcoming sales, click on the Winter Woolies, and then you can what have I got into there? Might have changed. Has it changed? Nominations.
No, it won't be up there yet, mate. We're just finalising it, but we'll have our details. If you want to go into upcoming sales, you'll find it.
Yep, and then go into the nominations, and you can follow the portals from there. But give yourself and Christy a phone call as well.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's the best way to find out if you want to get them in now. Obviously important if you've got Victorian horses. There's a number of opportunities to be able to utilise your vouchers too. So that's an important thing to remind people that are potential buyers. If you've got vouchers and you're potentially looking to invest, there'll be a number of those horses that you can qualify to utilise those bonus vouchers.
The vouchers have been a success, but still a lot still to be redeemed. There's still a lot still to come out, but they were pretty happy results for you at the last Melbourne sale, weren't they?
Yeah, look, we've had over $300,000 in vouchers from the Melbourne sale, which I think for the first year they're being used. I think people have working out how they use them, or it's not. It's a new idea where it's not in New South Wales. We've been seeing the benefits of those vouchers in New South Wales for quite some time. Like a lot of money not just changes hands, but people actually bid on a horse because they've got a voucher, and 4 or 5 before they finally buy one. So
Yep.
they do stimulate the yearling market without a doubt.
And just be aware that this sale, I think OBG have got a sale as well. We won't stress too much. Their sale as well. They're eligible for the Melbourne bred horses. But then next year's sales or the breeding season, then that's it. There may not be any more because they're a government grant, and that's when that government grant runs out. So be aware that you can't sit on them forever. Just don't snooze on those, that's for sure.
And look, the best thing about them too is and this is only me hypothetically, if people are utilising them, there's more reason for the government to say, look, these things are actually stimulating a market and working, so we'll continue with the program. So I think it gets back to how many people have actually cashed in on those, so we can have a good argument to say, look, I think they work and they stimulate the market we're in.
Matt Isaacs, Glenn Lee, and Greg Gangle are all smiling after you said that, Barto, because that's exactly it. If
I can tell you, I certainly wasn't. I wasn't coached in what I'm saying. I just say if you don't use them, the government's got a limited budget. They're going to find somewhere else to try and stimulate their economy. Like it's a big job they've got to do. But it's a great opportunity. It's been well received. Like I say, over $300,000 worth of yearlings bought with vouchers, and that's probably more like $400,000 worth of value in the marketplace that we had out of those vouchers this year.
Yep, and that's what they're for. You can use them as service fees, and we'll look after our studs and that as we go. But right at the minute, just be aware with your winter woolies. If you're sitting on one, you can use them. Right, mate. The $1 million+ race series at Wagga, the richest race series in the Riverina for a long time. Well, outside of the thoroughbreds, but standardbred one. It's here, mate. You must be pretty excited.
It is, and what is a couple of the galloping guys I've ran into kids sport on weekends, and they're saying, look, it equals already what we see invested in the galloping in the Riverina for the same month. They have a $1 million race day, but you look at, we've got 4 race meetings that harness racing's bringing to the Riverina. Starting tomorrow, then again Friday, then the following week another two race cards. So 4 race meetings. You start working that out. It's significant. I think are we $11,500 or $12,000 heats.
Just under the 12. I think they're a funny figure. 11,832.
Yeah, but even so, they're good value races for the trotters, and we've got it'll be good for racing, mate, to see the trotting gate at the Riverina Paceway. I think that's something a lot of the locals are saying. Look, I'll stand corrected, but I can't find anyone that reckons we've had on the new track at least. They can't recall a trot.
Well,
so I think that's exciting to see. It's a fantastic track. It's in good shape. We've had a little share of rain, not much, but it'll benefit. They'll only have to water it otherwise. So it should be great racing for this weekend, next week, mate.
4 heats. 3-year-old trotting colts has got 1 scratching already, but 9 runners going around in that. There'll be 7 going around in the 2-year-old fillies preludes. There's going to be 6, unfortunately, in the boys, and then 6 in the fillies, marred by a few scratchings. Unfortunately, because there's only the 1 heat, I think a few people think they didn't have to turn up, but good luck to them, because I think that part, what you said, Barto, there's trotters haven't gone around this track. These horses that are going around are going to benefit from having a look at the track, which is pretty important, mate.
Look, I know one driver or driving stable only said to me that today that, look, we're coming up, we want to give the horse a look at the track, and just working out what the trip is. They'll go home and then they'll stay. And they said, oh, look, we're actually planning to stay there and enjoy the night, because it's one of those. Look, it's the best race card. When you get the trotters and the paces all on one night, it makes for great racing. There's some terrific horses, both trotters and paces. You look at some of the horses that have come out of the sales. We're breeding a lovely animal at the moment, so it's good to celebrate. And you see when they go across the Tasman, when they go to across the ditch to New Zealand, like they're holding their own. Particularly the trotters have been fantastic.
Yep.
It'll be exciting, mate.
No, definitely will be. 2 Yabby Dam Farms, Aldebaran Park, and great to see Wingate, of course, who have got Fast as the Wind getting involved in the trotties as well, which is pretty cool, mate.
Yeah, well, they've got one standing here, exactly. Yep. So it gives those New South Wales breeders another option. I know the question was asked, when with the amount of race that are out there, when do we ever see an increase in prize money? I said, well, if you're looking for an increase in prize money in the trotter, you want to probably come to this race if you've got one eligible, because you at the moment you're racing for terrific money. It's with what is there, 6 or something in that 3-year-old filly, and it's $105,000 race. So.
Yep. Yeah,
you're a 6 to 1 chance of what, $60,000-$70,000 first prize there.
Yep, absolutely. It's crazy not to, and a lot of Victorians are saying there's no prize money around. Well, it's a 4-hour trip. It's 4.5 here from Bendigo. It's under 4 from Shepparton, and then I think it gets a bit closer for all the guys. Like Kilmore and that, I think, are nearly closer than me because they're straight on that highway. So because we've got
if you get on that Hume highway for those guys doing that run, it's
pretty easy.
It's a good run down. Look, what is interesting or keen is we've got, as it turns out, the Friday flight out of Queensland's an 8:20 flight on the Friday of the final weekend. Those guys land at 10:30. We've got the Calcutta after that race meet on the Friday afternoon. Someone said, "Oh, look, what's Wagga known for?" I said, "Look, you can fly in from any state." But I said, one thing it's a real foodie area, terrific restaurants. People go out and they're already, I've heard, groups of people, where would you recommend for us to get a group booking for 15 or 20 of us for breakfast? So I think that's good. That's probably one of the benefits of a regional centre. Or, even when you go, you and I have done it, when you go to Brisbane for a race meet, you can go out and enjoy some really good food. And the same, Sydney, Melbourne all does it, but it's great. You come back to the country, local pub. The local footy club's going to do a barbie out at the track on the Saturday, which is, it's a great sporting town, and we're getting pretty good patronage to the races. Look, I think it's almost, what the hell is this? We better poke our head in and have a look. So I think that's good that we've got the 4 races and that sort of 2 race lead up to it as well.
The team have done a pretty good job at Riverina Paceway too, as they always do. But a couple of these races have got pretty important names.
Yep.
I will say, Barto, I'm pretty wrapped. Campbell's comments is actually pretty wrapped. You might not be aware of this, mate, but to start the whole carnival off, race number 1 is the Campbell's comments pace. Now, I'm pretty honoured with that. I don't know whether that was intentional or not, but when I saw that, I must say thank you very much to the club or whoever's done that, because that's a huge honour for me.
You've got to be always got to be so careful to single out individuals, but Laura does a fantastic job. She's a fresh set of eyes and legs in that role at the track, and she's got a terrific group of young people. I think you probably saw the unicorns getting around town the other day on some of the socials. And
yep.
I wouldn't be doing that, and probably you wouldn't be doing that. But the girls, they've done that with with their own initiative. I think it's a great way. That's one of the things that's actually got the local community having a chat. Like, we went to the beach and we launched it, and we've done some of the stuff we've done. We've got the wood chop that Harness Racing New South Wales are putting on. That's had good feedback.
Yep.
I know, like I say, kids sport. People saying, "Oh, the footy." One thing about it's a Saturday night. I know the North Wagga AFL Club, which is where my little fella James plays. They'll come and do the barbie on Saturday night, but they've got the footy on a home game, and again, like, you've got that group of young families. So what else is there for the kids to come and see? Like, they've got a terrific carnival for kids in the afternoon, evening.
Yep.
And live music, local entertainer who he was one of the finalists in The Voice. They've pulled out all stops. I know Brett Hogan's been a fantastic driving force behind it. Personally, I know he was. He's on the phone every day to you and me now, making sure that we're letting people know what's on.
I got to try and do something at the same time, Barto, so don't stress. He sort of...
You will bugger that up, Paul. You're known for it.
He has set me up for something. Don't worry about that. The one thing I will say to the club, as I said, about forward thinking and doing things in the right way, the races, the Calcutta. You're cooking tea all of a sudden, aren't you? The Calcutta.
No. I've got junior chefs that can do that tonight, mate.
Good luck with that. The Calcutta at the Riverina Hotel, of course, that's on the Friday night. The next race is the $5,000 lucky door prize. So anyone attending on the Friday night will get a free ticket into a lucky door prize. So $5,000.
Yep.
You've got to be on track. And then book your VIP marquee ticket. And then the Woodchop exhibition. The only one I don't know is MCP Media, whether they're the people that do the broadcasting. I'm not sure who they actually are. But those names, they're all relevant. The Calcutta, book your tickets. You'll be on track for the $5,000.
Absolutely.
And then in the VIP marquee, make sure you book your tickets. They are filling very fast. There won't be a lot of tickets on the day.
It's $150 for to get in that VIP area. It's all your wine and beers part of that, and finger food all night. Look, I think before we even here, a month ago, I think we got 200 tickets. We had 130 or something sold in the first couple of days. So I think they'll fill that room, which is good. I think it's a way for people to bring another dimension to the racetrack, to come and enjoy. I think as a sport too, you get the doubters or people that don't know the sport. There's almost again a little bit of a throwaway odds. Is it tracksuits and Ugg boots to the races? It's actually we've got to upsell the product that we've got to sell, and we've also got to make sure that there's more than just the races for those people that may not be as passionate about the sport as some of our people are.
Yep, that's exactly right, and that's I think what the Dashhound Night does as well. It gets people there, gets them involved in the game as well, and that's what we want.
Yeah, exactly. Look, the Dashhound Days, I think, still the second biggest crowd that they've had since the opening of the new track. Like it was only opening day, and then the Dashhound Days have been the next two, and we're hoping that we'll be able to give that a hell of a shake this next couple of weeks. I know they had the Carnival of Cups, which is really trying to cater for their, for that younger audience. And they did a wonderful job of that. We've gone a little bit softer on it, probably not as much high end music. We're probably trying to just soften it up a little bit. And try and just make sure that we still recognise those winners and some of the tradition of they're listed races rather than group races now, these sale races. But you get a horse that race over in a $200,000 race. It's a pretty significant thing for anyone that's part of it, like all the connections.
No, and at the end of the day, Barto, it's going to be a lot of fun too, and that's what we want. There's going to be a lot of people there, a lot of people staying, and that's what we want people to be able to do.
Yeah, look, if people haven't booked and they want to book, the best place to, or we've got a relationship with the Riverina Hotel.
Yep.
For those Victorians, I don't think it is now, but it was owned by Paul Kelly, the Sydney Swans, Paul Kelly. Terrific spot there, just on the top end of northern end of town, and then the RSL Motel, which is right opposite the galloping track. Have done a special rate for anyone that wants to stay there. So it's again they're both supporters of the club. They're sponsors of the club. So anyone that wants to get a nice feed at the RSL, they can. You get a beer there. They're good motel rooms, and we're looking at the Riverina Hotel's going to also have a courtesy bus, to and from. The Calcutta will be there.
Yep.
And it'll be I guess, and if you look at where some of the nice foodie places are, they're also within a kilometre of there. Like you could walk, absolutely, to some of the nice places to go and get breakfast or lunch before the races.
I was going to say that there's some rip and brekkie places. Peter Ramiro, hey Paul, I put a trotter around against the Pacers and he trotted good. I think the trotters will love it there. So Pete Ramiro's put a horse around there. So it has been a trotter go around Bardo, but he was racing the Pacers. So thank you, Pete, for that.
Like I say, I'd stand corrected. That might be the only thing I'd say. We haven't had an official trotting race, but it is again. I'm parochial, but because I'm local, but it is a good track. It's a very safe track. It's in great shape now. The horses are running time.
I've run that track. It's a ripping track. It's a terrific. That was one of the silly
What
things.
did you do a mile in 150 what?
Mate, True story. This bloke, so this is Brett Hogan. This is actually what he did. So if you're actually looking on the feed there, he's actually AI'd me because I put me hat. I had me driving helmet on today, and so he's actually put me up on a polo horse. Barto, you'd be impressed with that. At least I'm riding for Australia. But anyway, we did do some stuff with those guys, but I don't think Grangula will be ringing me up looking for me to ride a horse for him. But in all seriousness, Hogs had a set of jeans on and a set of boots, and he outrun me for a lap, mate. So don't worry. I don't think I was humming around, so it's all good. So, but
there you go. I talked about the North Wagga Saints. He's an old North Wagga Saint too, so that could be where the tie-up is with the boys doing the barbecue on the Saturday night. But it's I'd heard a rumour he could have been Felly's 40 when he was a tick younger.
Yeah, I think so. I got no doubting in that too. He's a wee bit younger than me as well, so that is okay. Great to have Roddy O'Kane there. Actually, Barto, just on that too, one of your great sponsors, Nutrien Farms, Classic Connection, had another winner again today, so he's doing an awesome job, which was really cool. And I think there's a couple of first starters actually by Classic Connection. Actually, I wonder if Roddy O'Kane owns that one. Connect the dots. He does too. Owned by Rod O'Kane, Lisi, General
Well, I
O'Kane.
tell you what, the O'Kanes. Well, again, it's almost back to their home ground for those guys too. If I drew a circle of about 5 k's from here, I reckon there's 3 of his relatives are within 5 k's of our place. Like the O'Kanes there's between here and Coolum, there's plenty of them. But I don't know what their recipe is, but they've certainly. I remember we watched Nathan Jack drive one in Russell Jack's colours, or in his grandfather's colours, I think it might have actually been, that tartan colours there a couple of seasons ago.
Yep, bred by Pat. It's Tracy the Jets, Derek the Jet.
Derek.
Yep.
And again, they've had a happy knack of picking some nice horses, and I see he flew, well Gemma as well. They flew to Brisbane there for this year's sales, and they bought one of Pat's up at the Sunshine Stars sale. So they've got a recipe that seems to be working, mate. They've had a fair bit of success, and it's great to see those horses back here in the Riverina having a run round.
I might get in a bit of trouble here, but it is by Classic.
Keep me out.
Well, it's by Classic Connection. This horse Connect the Dots. The one they went to Queensland to buy was by Classic Connection as well. They might like this horse. Nathan won't let the cat out of the bag, and neither will Roddy. But you never know. You never know, mate. There might be a little bit of. We might have put 2 and 2 together and come up with 45. But anyway, that'll be all right. Roddy.
No, they've certainly had. And look, the trotters better than most. Like there's stables where they really do seem to go well. Like last season, remember Jess Tubbs? It was it was great to see. She had those. Yeah, but she had. I think she had 2 wins that night though too, from memory.
Yep, but Tracy the Jet, of course, being the sister to Derek the Jet. So, yeah, great little combination as well. Alex Ashwood was watching there before. Of course, Alex has taken one up. David Abrams has taken one up. So, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. You've got the good drivers coming up as well. James Herbertson's coming up. So, it's going to be a lot of intrigue from tomorrow night.
Mate, don't forget, we've got Sid. Sid's back too. Sid the Sloth's in tomorrow.
I haven't got him. Geez, I'm going to have to find him. I'll have to find him. He's going to have to go for a road trip with me. So, yeah, so that'll be all right.
I'm going to say, no, I reckon Sid's en route to, he was our crowd favourite last year. And Money the Munster, he's probably a horse with a fairly high reputation that he's earned. But again, looking forward to seeing him up here on the Riverina track too, mate.
No, there's some lovely horses stepping out, mate. Thank you. Most importantly, we will touch on it tomorrow. The Winter Woolies closes Thursday, so get your entries in for that. But also tune in tomorrow night from Wagga. First race, the Campbell's Comments Classic. We'll rename it. Bugger that pace comment. We've just got to call it the Campbell's Comments Classic. That is at, 5:15, so an early start, so be aware of that. But the first of the Nutrien Trot races is at 7:45. And the last
7:40, yeah.
Yep, and the last is at 9:26. So a nice early finish. So tune in for those and keep an eye on them and look for some stars of the future because they seem to come through these Nutrien sales. That's for sure. These trotters. And
it's exciting couple of weeks coming, mate. And like I say, if you haven't booked to come down, it'll be a great weekend. The 29th, 30th. It'll be a wonderful weekend. And if you haven't visited the city of Wagga, you'll enjoy it. The weather's been bloody fantastic. I just hope it can hang on for 2 more weeks. We've had little shower rain today, but we've been the most immaculate May days that I can remember. So let's hope we get another couple of weeks of that.
Sounds like a bit like Melbourne sales, Barto, but we won't worry about that. Well, I was going to say there too before Aldebaran Park, when you said Paul Kelly, I know Duncan won't be there for the final because both he and Pat are going to be at the elite lop, unfortunately, but he may have come for the heats if he'd have known it was a hometown of Paul Kelly, because he's the number 1 ticket holder for the Sydney Swans. So it's a wonder.
I could certainly organise it. Kel does cart a few cattle for us at times, so he's but no, he's actually, well, he's a next door neighbour to Dennis Howe, so he's
Yep.
He's a great local, very humble, but like I say, does a very good carrier if you're looking for a good carrier, livestock carrier.
Mark Lee is just
and could kick a football.
Yeah, and could dislocate a knee too. Anyone that's not sure,
I've seen that footage too.
Yeah, type in Paul Kelly dislocated knee and make sure you've well and truly had and finished your tea before you watch it. But that's okay, mate. Thank you. Great to have. We've got Pete Gianni. He watches quite regularly too, and I really appreciate all these guys that do tune in and continually watch these shows. And obviously,
I'm going to say
they get something out of it.
Nice horses.
Yeah.
No, good. It's. Look, I think that's the fun of the sport. It is, well, it's global, but it's the Southern Hemisphere. There's not many people don't know what happened in WA tomorrow or last night, and then what happened in New Zealand. And you see these like I say, these household names that they take time to evolve. But when they're there, it's great to see some of these horses. We won't pick on one just yet, but there's a horse here that'll be a household name that'll retire in 5 years' time, I'm sure.
No, absolutely. And Snow at all stepping out with for great to have Grant Dixon bringing a trotter down. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So, no, Grant's
got two going around tomorrow. I think Kerry Ann Morris has got the drive for him. The two going round, I reckon they're for Greg Mitchell, and he said, "Look, I might as well get the same thing." He said, "I'm bringing them both down. They were only preludes, but he said I want the horse to have a feel for the trip from Lucky Lodge to Wagga and back." And he said, just put a bit of run round the track, and Kerry Ann's got that drive there tomorrow, so we'll see her go around a couple of times.
Got one of the more unfortunate named horses, Kicking Horse, but it has got a good record, 9 starts, 4 wins. But yeah, Kicking Horse is a shocking name, but that is okay. Mate, thank you. I'm going to get Zane Turner on in a second too from Queensland, because things are going to start hotting up there as well. So Greg will get a double whammy tonight, so he's going pretty good, but really appreciate it.
Look, it's a good lead up, I think, because there's quite a lot, as you know, a lot of the southern horses and stables, the connections, they do like to migrate to Queensland for June, July, don't they? So it's not just state of origin that's big in Queensland in the winter. It's actually it's terrific racing. So a lot of good southern horses will find themselves running around up there in the next couple of months.
Anyone knows me knows I like a junket. I like a junket where it gets warm as well. So I'm okay with that.
You think we should be looking to try and have a trot meet or something at Catherine or Darwin or something like that?
No, too hot. They're too hot for me. I'm a bit precious. Remember, it wasn't that long ago I was complaining about how hot it was.
No, well, it'd be interesting to bring the trots to the territory, wouldn't it?
It'd be good. It'd be good, actually. We should get them everywhere. They could go there and race week in, week out. So, yeah.
See whether Bob Catter could organise something in Mount Isa or something, maybe. All right, mate.
Shotgun start. Right, mate. I'll let you go. But thank you, and I will see you tomorrow night. But please, anyone that is still watching, make sure you choose. If you've got your winter woolies, make sure you get them done as well. Enjoy your tea, Barton. What are they cooking?
Mate, we're doing it's bit gourmet. My 13-year-old, he's had oysters for his entree, and he's having lobster tail. The rest of us are having corned beef, so it's gourmet and back to basics for the family tonight. But no, he done a couple of good things, and we saw one lobster tail and a few oysters when I picked him up from school. So he conned me into doing that. He's a real seafood man, the older fella. So
good on him. Well done.
But we'll get a couple of days' work out of him over the next few days.
Absolutely, James. You might have to get an interview. You never know. We'll see how we go. Right, mate. Thank you very much.
James, he's part of the North Wagga Footy Club now, so he'll probably be the barbecue man.
Oh, we'll have to get some footage of that. Don't you worry about that. But anyway, all right, mate.
Okay, mate. Talk to you.
See you tomorrow.
See you now.
That's Mark Barton, of course, with the Nutrien Classic races coming up very, very shortly. Right, we better get hold of Zane quick as we can because it's getting late, but it's not the end of the world. But hopefully we can get hold of him. We've got him straight away. Hopefully I'm not holding him up from his...
Paul, how you going, mate?
Very, very well, Zane. Thank you very much for joining me. Apologies. I did say to be after 7. I didn't say exactly how much after 7, but that's all right.
Mate, no apologies necessary, mate. I was enjoying watching the coverage, actually. Barto's family's going a bit better than me tonight. I'm having a fried fillet of fresh air.
Well, we're having quiche. I didn't have the heart to tell him we're just having quiche, but no, good luck to them. They're good. They're actually good boys. They do work for it. So
Yeah, fantastic.
But a lot going on. How's it all going, mate? Queensland racing,
mate. Yeah, it's going good, mate. Obviously, we're gearing up for leading into the Winter Carnival, which is going to be amazing. We've got starting on Saturday, the 4th of July, the 11th of July, and the 18th being the big one, the Inter-Dominion final night. But everything's going really well up here. The racing's been good. We've just had a recent track resurface, so the track's in mint condition, and everything's going really well.
The racing seems very positive up there. Would that be fair?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. There's an air of positivity and optimism here. Obviously, the government announced that Albion Park's going to remain, and it's going to be the headquarters for racing going forward. And Albion Park's going to stay. So there is positivity and optimism around the industry, and it's great to see because obviously it's now's probably a great time to get involved in the industry. So it's all going well.
And some real positive things before we touch on the race series that are coming up, accommodation, and that's what we want to get out here tonight. We're not going to single out individual horses. We'll do that leading up, but we want to make sure people are aware of it. But infrastructure builds, things along those lines are pretty key, and some I suppose big change is going to happen to Albion Park over the next probably 10, 15 years.
Yeah, so obviously the government announced that obviously the Creek's going to remain as the headquarters for racing in Queensland. So there is a development plan that's been sort of sent out that it's the whole site's going to be developed, and it's going to be a range of sort of commercial and residential buildings. And obviously the Creek's going to remain there. It'll be the hub of the metropolitan racing in Queensland for the harness. But no, it's going to be new members' grandstands. It's going to be an amazing facility when it's done. Obviously, works are just starting. We're starting to some of the infrastructure from the greyhounds has currently been removed. So the plan's moving on, and no, looking forward to when that can take place. Obviously, with the Olympics coming up, I'm not sure of the timeline, but certainly everything's pushing forward, and it's going to be amazing when it's complete. It'll be fantastic for harness, Australia wide, not only in Queensland.
No, that's exactly right. Somewhere to showcase our industry, and that is exactly what the Winter Carnival is doing. I think so many people, as I said to Barto just there before, anyone wants an escape. The winter is just starting to kick in here, and already people are talking about how cold it is. I think people look forward to going to Queensland, and you've got to do a bit of forward planning now. It's not just a matter of just rocking up, because there is a lot of people going there. The view and the quest across the road are always very, very popular, but there's plenty of accommodation areas for people to get involved. But support the guys that look after us. I know the View and the Quest look after you guys pretty well, don't they?
Yeah, certainly. We've just teamed with the Quest as our official partners for the Inter-Dominion Carnival.
Yep.
Ryan, Cass, and Rebecca from the Quest, they're fantastic people. Obviously, as you know, it's right across the road, and they've been really, really helpful to the club. They've made it very, very affordable for people to come and stay. As you can see, we've got some stay and play packages which we can touch on later. But even if people just want to come on a weekday or a weekend during the year, if they use our promo code, it's capital APHRC, they get 14% off the best daily rate available, and it's actually quite cheap. So they're fantastic, and we're really happy to be partnered with them, and really looking forward to sharing our successes together.
Just go back. What was it? AP?
Yeah, so all in capitals, APHRC, so Albion Park Harness Racing Club. If you go in there and add that code to the Quest Breakfast Creek website, when you're looking to book your stays, you'll get 14% discount on the best daily available rate.
So you said APHRC, didn't you?
Yep, that's the one.
Good, because I'll put it across the bottom in a sec. I'm building a ticker as we go at it, and I'm thinking, geez, I want to make sure I put the right thing across there. Otherwise, it might look a little bit silly, but hopefully it works. Yep, there it goes there now. So yeah, so if you type in those, it'll be there, all in capitals, and we'll work out how to do that. Right. So the number one place we want to go to. Might have overdone that. That's okay. The one place we want to go to for all of this, Zane, is to go to the Creek. This is the best place to keep up to date with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Our website. So just www.thecreek.com.au. Yep.
Done. So we got that. And it is pretty self-explanatory. I think a lot of people do get a little bit lost because of Racing Queensland and where to go. But the Creek is all about everything that goes on at the Creek, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you get to that web page, obviously we've got the video up the top from last year's Inner Dominion. But you'll see just on the main page, you've got the Queensland Constellations 2026. There's a little link there that says book now. That'll take you to the actual Inner Dominion website that we have, which will contain all the news, all the packages and all of that information. So it's a dedicated website. So if you click that, it'll take you to the actual Inner Dominion page.
And that'll take you there. So memberships, book on the Saturday, the 4th of July, the 11th of July, and the 18th. Stay and play packages and more details as well. All there. I'm not going to click on those because I know what will happen. They'll send me emails after that. So that part's okay. Dinner packages, everything. So that is the one-stop shop. So if you are going to the Inter Dominion, all prices are there. They won't change. General admission, everyone knows what they're in for, and there's a place there to register for updates as well. So it's a pretty important page, that actually, isn't it? It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, we've got it running really well at the moment. So obviously, as soon as there's news or any updates, it's straight on that web page. So obviously, there's a need to keep everyone informed of what's happening, and it's a good hub for all your Inter-Dominion news.
Yep, and it's not just the Inter Dominion. Of course, you've got the Rising Star, the Proto Star. There's so much more going on that whole week, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, it kicks off on the 4th of July, which we have the Racing and Sports, the Rising Sun, the Group 1 $300,000 race. That's also accompanied by the Breckon Farms, the Great Square $150,000 Group 1 as well. So we're sort of right into it with the great racing for the first night, and then obviously we move on to the 11th of July, and that contains obviously the Group 1 Ben Stud Standardbred's Proto Star. Obviously, it's a fantastic concept, and I think it's the third running of it this year, I believe.
It'll be the third running, and the first time it's going to be called the Ben Stud, which is great for the whole family. I was about to say Craig in that, but it's such a big family. We'll just go with Judy, and I'm in all sorts of trouble. His name's just left me, and it's not even coming back. But anyway, it'll come in a minute, but it'll be fine. But it's Peter. Peter Judd, sorry, Judy and Pete, and then the rest of the family. So I think well done to those guys. And of course, they've got incentives of how to get a horse involved, but there's plenty of other ways you can get a young horse involved in those sorts of races.
Yeah, absolutely. And Albion Park, we're so happy to be in partnership with the Ben Stud Standardbreds team. We're really looking forward to our partnership going forward. I think it's a great for them to get involved in that concept as well. So, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, and it does. Each will work together, if that makes probably the best way to try and put it. You complement each other. That's the word I was after. Complement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, so that's on the Saturday the 11th. Then we move into obviously Saturday the 18th. We have the Ladbrokes Inter-Dominion Pacing and Trotting Finals. Obviously, massive night of racing. Just in regards to the tickets, if people are looking to come on that night, I'd suggest getting in now to book your tickets. We are selling them fast. And I'm not just saying that for the sake of it. We're almost 70% full up in the Home Straight Bistro already, and then we're a couple of months out. So if people are looking to come, I do suggest getting on that website or contacting the club and securing your tickets now.
Yep, that is pretty important. You're not a couple of months out, Zane. You're 39 days out, mate. You're just over
39. Well, yeah,
you're just over a month. It'll be here pretty soon. But
well,
I think
time's
that's
flying, mate. It's getting away from me.
But I think that's pretty important as well for people, because I think a lot of people will be thinking, oh, yeah, it's not until the middle of winter, but it's not that far away.
Yep. No, absolutely.
No.
Yep. No, and the way the time's going these days, it'll be around before we know it.
Yep.
So,
yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah. No. It's.
And is there other things on when the racing's not on, and there's for people to be able to do? The club will be able to help people with other things they might be able to do when they're there.
Yeah, so with the finals week, we have a golf day on the Monday. Details of that are just being finalised now with Racing Queensland. But if you book one of those stay and play packages, obviously it's also available to people outside of the stay and play packages. But on the Friday, we're having a Legends luncheon, an Inter-Dominions Legends luncheon. That will be followed. That'll be followed by the Calcutta on the Friday night up in the Home Straight Bistro.
Yep.
So that Legends luncheon, we're just finalising the lineup at this stage, but we've got Vic Frost, Tim Butt. We're trying to secure a few other names at this stage, but also Greg O'Connor with Adam Hamilton and Bill Hutchison at this stage. So that'll be a fantastic lunch. Once details are finalised with that, I'll send them over to you so you can send out to everyone if anyone's interested in coming to that.
Yep.
And then that'll lead into the Calcutta on the Friday night, and that'll be a massive night as well. So it should be. There's, apart from the racing on the weekend, there's also other activities during the week, which is good and will complement the racing and the atmosphere, and sort of allowing people to get together and socialise away from the track as well.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty important, because we need to make occasions, a bit like with Barto just there before with Nutrien. It's, the racing's there, but there's going to be a lot more going on, and it makes people want to come back year on year. And that's what we want to do, and I think that's what you've been able to do successfully in Queensland. I think the whole team there. I don't think Greg will mind me saying there's been a lot of people behind the scenes pushing this along, and I think it's really starting to reap the benefits. People know Queensland's on. I go to New Zealand, I go to a lot of places, and they know Queensland's on, and they know their horses are there. They're either coming or they're going. They quite regularly will tell you, you're doing an interview. No, I'm not going to Queensland. But at least it's on their radar, if that makes sense. It's in their mind, and people are dead set thinking about it when it's coming.
Yeah. And I think Greg, obviously Greg Mitchell, our chairman, and the board need to take or get a fair round of applause for the work that they've done, the tireless work that they've done to obviously try, obviously get the works done to the facility, but also just for the industry in general in Queensland, and pushing it and maintaining its relevance, which sort of flows into other states of Australia as well. So I think if everyone's chipping in for the sport and sort of trying to push it forward, it's obviously it's key these days, particularly with the wagering dollar and trying to compete on the entertainment space. But while there's people like Greg and those sort of people, trying to highlight the sport and get people involved and obviously push it forward and get it to its heights, then we're a chance of succeeding. So
couldn't agree more, mate. I think and I think the more people that do it. I said at the start of the show, I did do an interview with Mickey Digital Marketing. I come back. I didn't do an interview. Sorry, I shared. She done a story, no seatbelt driving the car, but that's okay. That's what they do in America. But just have a listen to it, her words, and it is the easiest way to drive our industry. I just popped that interview, or the visual there of Michaela. Just have a listen to it. Get out there and start promoting our sport and telling people what it's about. Get people to Queensland. Get them to Wagga next week, get them to Queensland, get people to start enjoying this sport, getting invested in it, buying horses. I started the show off with Ken Breckon and talking about, a young couple that put their head on the chopping block to, spend a couple of $100,000 on horses and already got a Group 1 winner out of it. I think, we need to be able to keep selling these dreams, and every piece of the puzzle helps. The Queensland Carnival, the summer carnival that Victoria had down here with 7 weeks of the Cups, these things work. let's just keep going and growing them and doing an awesome job. I think that's what it's about. I do like a free junket, but I do a lot of this stuff because I enjoy the industry and want to make it better, Zane. So I did say that one as a throw out line there before, but I actually, at the end of the day, we need to make this industry better and better, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, no, you do a great job, mate. And obviously with your Campbell's comments and also on loose lines, you do an amazing job in making the sport relevant and making it accessible for people, particularly in the digital space, mate. So you do a great job.
I don't know if I do a great job. It's just I enjoy it. I do find it very funny. I was sitting in the dentist chair today putting my run sheet together, so which didn't end up being as painful as it was. But the worst part is I do know the next visit will be painful. So goods and bad. So, but anyway, that's okay. Anything else, mate?
No, mate. No, it's just obviously. If anyone wants to get in contact, feel free to. You can put my my mobile number up if you want, mate, or my email address. If anyone wants to contact me directly, I'm more than happy to.
Are you on the contacts there, or just your enough? I can. No, I'll do that next time. I'll put a proper tile up for you.
Yep, no, that's all good.
That'll be easy. I'll do that.
But yeah.
Get in touch with Zane's the best way to do that. But also, if you do that through the contact us on the website, there isn't a contact us. That's interesting. You don't have a contact us. So
that's something we might have to look at, mate. Good pick up. But there will be through probably the Creek website. But I'm more than happy to take calls or emails, mate. I'll do whatever I can to assist people where possible, mate. So
I apologise for that, but there's not. I've just gone through all your drop downs too, and there's not one. Didn't mean that on purpose either, actually. So, but anyway, you'll be able to get in touch through the Creek, and there'll be an email. Hang on, right down the bottom. Let's go right down the bottom, and there is a phone number. info@thecreek.com.au is the best way. Email
okay,
that through,
perfect.
and it is there down the very bottom. But not a contact us page, but that's okay. If you do that email, you'll be fine. So, Greg Mitchell's probably telling me off already. Great carnival. Loved our experience in the first Proto Star. That's Roddy Marcia from Karma Standardbreds, and they were there last year. I don't know where their horse finished. No, 2 years ago their horse was. I don't know where he finished. Roddy, you'll have to tell me. He's obviously not driving. Last week he was driving the car, so he wasn't sending the messages. I know that for a fact. But he's one of the great things about this job. I tell you, I do have a lucky job, Zane, because people like Roddy and his family would never have met him if it wasn't for doing sales and meeting people. It's a pretty cool sport. I think we've got a great sport. We've just got to be able to promote it a bit better. So that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely, mate.
Very good. Zane, thank you, mate. I'll let you go. Have your tea. What you say you're having?
Fried fillet of fresh air, mate.
Wow, that sounds exciting. It sounds exciting. As I said, we're having. I spiced it up. I thought I'll get something for tea, and I ended up with quiche. So anyway, it'll be fried. So yeah.
No. Look forward. Obviously, we look forward to you coming up around carnival time, mate. So we'll keep in touch, and if there's anything you need or anyone needs, please reach out anytime, mate. We're more than happy to help.
Yep, and if you want Zane's number, give me a yell if you haven't got it, but I will get a tile up next week so that whenever I put it up, we've got Zane's number and they can call you directly. They don't want to get Jim on the phone. They could be in all sorts. Jim's a lovely man, please. He's just got a very heavy accent. You need an interpreter in the midsection. So, but other than that, he's a good operator. Zane, thank you very much, mate.
No worries, Paul. Take care, mate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is Zane Turner there from the Creek, and plenty of big things happening there for those guys there as well. So, been a big show. Nearly 2 hours, but who cares? Bit of fun. You've got to have fun in these days. So, it is all cool. Great man, Mark Hughes. There's his photo. I'll have to try and fix this up. I got a new phone, hence the reason the audio works so good and people can hear everyone because the speaker on the phone works. But unfortunately, I can't put it through my mixer. I can. I've just got to work out how to do it. There's something not quite right. But anyway, I might be able to do it now. I might try it now. I was going to log off, but anyway, I think I've covered off on everything. Please remember that the sale for that one doesn't want to work. Doesn't look like it is going to work, unfortunately. But the sale for both. Well, the sale for Woodland Stud. Woodland Stud. What am I doing here? We'll flick that one there. The sale the weanling sale for NZB, that's a better one, is live now, and you've got a day and a half. Clodagh was on there before. I don't know if there's a countdown clock to when it finishes. We'll go in here, do it this way. Ends in 5 days. Well, it does say there, so we'll flick over to this one. So this is lot number 1. So it closes in a day. Yeah, 1 day, but it's technically a day and a half because today being Monday afternoon, but it is, what is it, nearly 10 o'clock in New Zealand, so be aware of that. But yep, so it closes, and it closes at 6:01, and this will be probably the easiest way to show you. So if we just go to the second horse, bidding closes at 6:02. So I'm pretty sure that as each horse closes, they go from there. They do have some pretty cool stuff on these. Bid history. So you go into bid history and you can actually see the people that have been bidding on each horse as well. So there's bid in it. I love the sites. People say, oh, this one's the best one or that's the best one. I don't necessarily agree. I think it's pretty cool the way they all do it. I love the way the Nutrien one finishes, from my point of view, to be able to sell and have a bit of fun on a live show is pretty cool. But yeah, if you're following me on the YouTube page, stay tuned. Wednesday, 4 o'clock, we might do a live finish for this and just see how it all goes. We'll just see what happens. We'll talk our way through it. We might be able to get the great man Cam Grant on the phone. We'll have a look. But yeah, and as I said at the start of the show, the team from Woodland Stud have got 19 of their 22 on the market. They've met their reserves and are on the market. So there's no haggling afterwards. They're done. So get in touch with the team. You can call Tony Grayland, Stacey White or Cameron Grant. Mark Hughes will be back, but not before this sale finishes. So, yep, make sure you get in touch with those guys, the team from Woodlands. Or Nigel Fahey from Breckon Farms. Go to nigel@breckonfarms.co.nz, or I'll go 027 583 1005 to get in touch with Nige. Put a +64 and get rid of the 0. I know Darren Ray's over there at the minute and he's been enjoying himself immensely, as have plenty of other people going from there. Don't forget Woodland, there we are, Winter Woolies closes on Thursday. So make sure you get your nominations in before Thursday, the 21st. So get that one sorted out as well. And tune in tomorrow. We'll be live from, won't be live, that's a lie. We will be in Leeton, how good am I going? In Wagga, 4:44 for the first race, the Campbell's Comments Classic. But no, we will be there covering off on the Wagga for the trotters. Hopefully get up to catch up with a couple of the sponsors as well. Going forward and having a little bit of fun there for the day. But look, really appreciated everyone tuning in and enjoying themselves. That's what this show's about. It's not to set any bars or anything along those lines. It's to be positive, and I think the sooner the industry stays positive, the better off the industry will be. So, yep, anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed it, had a bit of fun. We've had plenty of viewers on there. We've had plenty of feedback going backwards and forwards as well. So, yeah, really do appreciate it. I'll be back next Monday night, but I will see you all from Wagga with some great interviews. And then a little bit of other stuff this week. And then, yeah, we'll be back in Wagga the following Friday, Saturday. So, big couple of days coming up there as well. But thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in. See you all next Monday night.